Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great milestone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah Kodash. And this is the book of Amos chapter 9 and verse 8. It says, Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord. Right? The Lord's eyes is upon this wicked place. Right? It's upon a wicked place that is ruled by men, by psychotic idiots, by the elites, by wicked people, right? That give you different religions to follow and all these different type of things. This is who the world is ruled by, right? It is given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and this is just a quick drive and talk, by the way. Right? This is Job 9 and 24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who is he? Is Esau Edom. Alright, the top banking families and so forth. These are the people who are ruling today. Alright? These are the people who give you these different religions to follow and whatnot. Right? They basically whitewash the whole Bible. Right? They paint their own images and whatnot. And you go to the book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 47. It says, Then they fasted that day, and put on sackcloth, and cast ashes upon their heads, and rent their clothes, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Right? The heathen. Starting with Esau Edom. Alright? He painted the images of his people. Right? The so-called white people. Which they are not white, they are actually red skin. And they just call us black. We are not black. Alright? We are different shades of brown. Right? These people also color blind. You know? They learn what they learn and what they understand by doing their deep search and whatnot, is that when you say certain things to people, you know, and people who pick up a book and read and whatnot, people tend to believe you. You know, people who go and look into stuff and say, well, you know, let me see what really going on here. But all there will be by these churches and whatnot, and listening to the pastors and all those things. You know, these people leading you all astray. That's why the scriptures say, woe unto these pastors that scatter my flock. You know, that's roughly paraphrasing. Alright? This is the book of Isaiah 29. And I'll start from verse 9. It says, Stay yourselves and wonder and cry. And wonder, Salakia. Cry ye out. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. For the Lord Yahweh has poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep. This is what our people are doing right now, sleeping. Right? They're sleeping. They're not doing the right things. They are sleeping. Right? They are dead to this world. They're not understanding what is really taking place. Right? And as close your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers, as he covered, and the vision of all is become unto you as the word of a book that is sealed, right? Because when you come into the truth, you have to be taught, right? You will see the prophets of the Lord preaching this gospel on the highways and byways out there, right? The Lord speaks through his servants, the prophets, right? So that is how you're going to hear the Lord's voice, through the servants, the prophets. And when you pass by them, or you come across videos like this and whatnot, you'll be like, hey, something correct, something about this word, that what these young men speaking, something is sounding correct. That is the word saying this. That is the Lord telling you, this is the way, walk ye in it, right? And follow in his footsteps. Pick up your cross and follow him, right? It says, which men deliver to you one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I can't, I cannot, for it is sealed. Right? Because you have to be taught this way. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips, do not to honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precepts of men, right? The precepts of men, starting with Esau Edom, give you different philosophies and doctrines to follow, right? Cause you people to what? Not knowing the scriptures. This is what's going on with Israel today, right? They're following in wickedness, all right? It says here, therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work along this people, even a marvelous work, and a wonder, for the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. Right? And what you're seeing today happening, all right, for some time now, since the late 60s, you know, since the late 60s going into the 70s, this word had came back on the earth, you know, by the prophet Elijah, who is reincarnated and came back as who? He came back as Rabbi Abba Bivens. All right, that is how this word came back. The Lord say he would have sent back the prophet Elijah in the time when he's looking to return, and he did. All right, and we believe strongly that it is Rabbi Abba Bivens who brought back this word. All right, and up to the day, you know, the beloved apostles from GMS, you know, the Great Millstone, has been pushing this doctrine, and they're still doing it. All right, so they're doing the righteous acts in the sight of the Lord. All right. Jeremiah 5:26, before I drive off here, it says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares," meaning traps. They set a trap, they catch men. As a cage full of birds, so their houses full of deceit. Right? Therefore, they are become great and waxen rich. They are waxen fat, they shine, yea, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper. And the right of the needy do they not judge. Right? Because these people who are out here today ruling, they're not ruling correctly. They give us all kind of different false ways to follow, right? Which is not good in the sight of the Lord. Alright? They are actually our enemies. Alright? They're actually our enemies. They're coming against us in every way possible. Right? They're looking to roll out a RFID total chip for you to take, so you could serve their new God that they're looking to bring forth, Grok. This is the type of things Esau is doing. He giving you false prophets. He paying them off and telling them go out there and teach the wrong things. Don't hear pastors is getting paid off for these things. And you people still don't want to wake up and understand what really taking place. Right? Verse 29, it says, "Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof?" What shall you do in that time when the Lord return? Alright, and we know that the Lord is returning, because he is bringing a lot of destruction and calamities upon the earth. Alright, this is the Lord visiting the world that he made. Right? This is where you have to wake up, smell the coffee, smell the coffee and understand what is really going on, what's taking place. Understand that we don't have long here again in this wicked place. Right? This place is basically doomed. It's destined to be destroyed. The islands are going to flood away. Right? When all these things going to happen, but yet still you don't want to turn from your wicked ways. When all this going to happen, you still trusting and believing in that God Jesus Christ. That is not even the Lord's name. The Lord don't look nothing like that. Right? Having your melanin take away from you like that, like what that image represents, a so-called white man, that is showing you that is a curse. Right? That's something unclean. Right? Just like the word sus goes into what? It goes into earth pig. That's what all are basically worshipping. A earth pig. Something that is unclean. Right? But what did they say also? You are what you eat. For most of our people today, this is the kind of things that is be eaten. Look, hey, 144.9. This is the shit that all others like to be eaten. Alright? Eating a lot of abominable things. That's why you always be acting this way. You worshiping swine flesh, so therefore you're eating swine flesh. He's speaking swine flesh. These are the kind of foolishness our people are doing today. And that's why you all are going to be destroyed for lack of knowledge. When the Lord called, no one answered. Right? And how the Lord called? By putting his prophets out there on the highways and byways preaching this word. Right? Unto our rebellious house. But again, our people don't want to inquire. Our people don't want to do any kind of searches and pay attention. You know? What the priests talk for them. And all the priests doing is just leading you astray. Alright? This is who they trust in. But what will you do when Yahweh Shai return and you realize there's a so-called black man standing in front of you and not no so-called white man coming from the clouds or riding on a literal horse? What will you do? Ask yourself that. Shalom.